What's up, YouTube? I'm Brett.
Lance.
This is Rants or Us. As always, guys, if y'all enjoy our content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. We're on the road to 1,000. We hope you guys can help us get there. All right, so we've got to our second American Gods character breakdown. Technical Boy. What'd you think of him, Lance?
I like him. He's one of my favorites, actually.
I hated him in season 1 and 2. I hated
See,
his character
I
completely.
liked him in season 2 for sure, but season 1, I mean, he kind of made me laugh a little bit. So I was like, this guy's a douche, but he was kind of funny. But I really started liking him towards the end of season 2.
like the first time that I saw him, I was like, I'm not gonna like this guy. Like he was just like the worst. He was a douchebag. That was back when I didn't really know much about Shadow Moon, and I kind of was like, I kind of like Shadow Moon, in a lot of ways. And then he's like, come in my limo, and I'm gonna end up hanging you later. I mean, it was just like this weird. Like that was when I still was unsure about American Gods.
Yeah,
Um, and I just
yeah,
didn't really
yeah.
like him in
Same
the later
here. 'Cause
season. He was too in your face.
I got into it. I got into it way after you, but
Yeah.
I was still at that point. I was still kind of unsure about this show.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I get it, but I don't know. It was just like I kind of thought it was funny,
See, season
and so, but season 3, he really
he
come
changed.
out of that. Yeah,
He really changed. I tell you, who is it? Bruce Langley that plays him. Does
yeah,
do a fabulous job with what he's working with. You got to give that guy credit for that
yeah.
because he
I think
plays that
so.
character the way it's supposed to be played. Whether we love it or hate it, he plays it the way it's kind of like
Right.
the kid that plays Joffrey. Like Joffrey, you can think whatever you want to about Joffrey's character, love him or hate him, but you gotta admit that guy plays that role better than anybody else on that show. Plays that role
Better,
like he plays it
better
superbly.
than
I
better than almost anybody plays a lot of roles.
Yeah,
Period. Like
yeah. I mean, and you
you
take,
know.
technical boy. Like I said, in season 1, he was just really in your face. Season 2, it felt like he even got whinier. Like he was just whining all the time. He was like always like anytime that you'd have him and Mr. World in any scene together, he would just he felt like a baby almost in a way. And I felt like Crispin Glover and Bruce Langley didn't have chemistry together in a lot of ways. Now I changed towards that in season 3. Season 3, he acted a little bit more mature. We got a little bit more of his backstory. I never really, I mean, I didn't really understand his backstory. I guess he was a human in years past. I didn't really one that had forgot his true lineage, I guess, because he was trying to find that artifact one, and that artifact, like that was, of course, the big thing with season 3 was trying to find that artifact, and it not to be
Right.
spoilers or anything, but it does play a big role in his as his in his character in general, because without it he totally forgets who he is in a lot of different ways, almost kind of like what Bilquis is. So there is, it's funny that they put those two characters together, Bilquis and Tech Boy, because technically
Right.
they have
Yeah.
gone through the exact same thing. They forgot who they were in a lot of different ways. But let me ask you this: do you think Tech Boy would have ever have gone over to the old gods, or do you believe that he would have stuck with Mr. World no matter what?
I don't know, man. That's.
Well,
I think
Mr.
he would
World
have
have tried
probably
to
stayed
free him.
with Mr. World no matter what.
You think he was stuck with Mr. World? I mean,
I do.
at the end, even with what Mr. World did to him, I still feel like he would feel like there's because of who he is, I feel like he would feel more of a connection with the new God simply because of, the media, the things like that. I don't think he would be a good fit with the old gods. But at the
He would
same
never be accepted, I don't think.
I would have really, in season 3, he goes on that little quest with Shadow Moon. That was a fun
yeah
episode, just in general.
yeah
They're playing the aliens, and they're scared that dude with all that. Like that was a fun
right
episode. I felt like
yeah it was.
him and Shadow Moon had some real chemistry going on. I wish they would have
But
paired them
it
up
was also a wasted quest. Like,
It was.
we're going to go on this quest to save Bilquis. Well, she didn't need your help.
She didn't need your help. Not only did she not need help, but he never actually got to see her at all in it.
Yeah.
I mean, he saw her at the very beginning, and then he takes off, I guess. But I mean, it didn't really get to solve his main problem in general. But I felt like if there's any character that really evolved, from season 1, progressed in a positive way, I would go so far as say Tech Boy is the guy for it. I would love if there ever if Amazon or Netflix or whoever it is picks up this show. I would love for Tech Boy to have at least a few more scenes with Shadow Moon, and maybe 1 or 2 scenes with Bilquis. I would be happy with that for his character. Like, I think those two would go really good together. There was some things
I feel like his character stayed pretty strong throughout the show.
I would like him as a neutral character. Like a character that isn't really for the old or the new gods. Because technically he's neither. Technically he is, he's an old god and a new god all at the same time. I mean, he's a powerful being. He's a being that has existed since the dawn of time. Like, he is really, Mr. World or Loki, whoever it is, with Mr. World, tries to pretend like he's the dominant one, but it's actually Tech Boy, that's really the key to everything in a lot of ways. He's actually the most powerful one because he's the bridge between the old and new gods. And I think that was a really cool way that they brought that into season 3. Season 3 had a lot of problems. I'm not gonna lie. Season 3 was not my favorite season out of all of it. I mean, I just personally wasn't as invested with it. I felt like Shadow Moon sat around eating pastries all season, and sliding on some ice while everybody else is doing storylines. They had Marilyn Manson, and they had him as kind of like this really cool character, but because of the controversy with Marilyn Manson, they had to cut out a lot of his scenes in the show, which I thought really would have made this season a lot better in a lot of ways.
I definitely think that.
But I just kind of feel like the characters had nothing to do. Tech Boy, though, really showed some promise. And if they would have given him a few more scenes, I feel like he would have been one of the stars of the show right then and there.
Yeah.
I mean, he just has that way about him. Like I said, he plays that part well.
Yeah, I didn't care for Tech Boy in the first season, but I did like him in the second and third.
Oh my goodness, the second season was my breaking point with him. The second season, I'm like, I hate this character. I hate this.
I liked it.
Snobby little prick. Like, I hated that character. Like, he was just like, I'm like, kill this guy off. Like, I don't even want to hear it. Like, in the book, he's like gothic. And he's like this ugly little fat gothic kid. And like he's kind of got the same personality to a certain extent. But in the series, when they're like, hey, I'm not going to be this little chubby fat gothic kid. I'm going to be this in-your-face, tech guy. Like, I mean, it was like techno on steroids in a lot of ways for me. So yeah, I mean, overall, I will say, um, he did become one of my favorite characters at the end of season 3, no doubt. And what would you want from him in season 4? What would you want for his character?
Just more of it
Just
for
more
me.
of it, like more, just more
Let him be a bigger part of
I can see
the
that.
show.
I would be
I'd
cool
like to
with that.
see more of that character.
Yeah, I mean, is there anybody that you felt like he had a connection with, like that you would want to see him in scenes more with that person, or was it you just liked him by
Shadow.
himself?
Shadow Moon, for sure.
Did you like him with Mr. World? Are you kind of like me? Do you feel like he had a good, bad, whatever connection with Crispin Glover's Mr. World?
I didn't feel that way. I thought they had good chemistry as well. I just don't feel like that story was well played out.
There was something about the way Crispin Glover. It's funny. They got Danny Trejo to play that part as well. And I thought Danny Trejo is going to make this character so scary, but instead, Danny Trejo would go over there and Tech Boy and like, it's okay. Someday we'll take you fishing or something like that. And I'm like, that's the Danny Trejo that they brought out. But Crispin Glover is like, no, I'm gonna go punch your teeth out and like, throw like robots on your face and crap like that and deprogram you. Like, I mean, there was something really creepy about Crispin Glover when it come to Tech Boy. It's like
Well, I did like him as Mr. World, that version of Mr. World better.
I did too. I did too. I did not like the female version of Mr. World. I thought she was too. She kind of reminded me of Tech Boy in that way. She was too in your face, too assertive in that regard. I didn't really like
Well, and
her
then when
disposition.
she would show up would be just random because like the first time she showed up, I'm like, who's this supposed to be?
Yeah, I know. I didn't get it at first either.
And I thought it that was gonna have just something to do with Bill Cliston, honestly.
I did too. I didn't really.
And then all of a sudden it was Mr. World, and I'm like, what?
I didn't understand why Mr. World had to be changing faces all throughout the season. Like, that was confusing to me in that regard. But as far as him and Tech Boy, I felt like there was like I didn't really like Crispin Glover with him too much, simply because Crispin Glover was too authoritative, like too like like he just hated Tech Boy and everything Tech Boy stood for. I like Danny Trejo with Tech Boy, but I loved Shadow Moon with Tech Boy. I thought that
I
pair
didn't.
worked.
That's why I said Shadow Moon for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
definitely, definitely. I mean, Shadow Moon, for all his flaws, and there's a lot. Let's face it, much as I love that show, there is a lot of flaws with Shadow Moon's character. He's too passive. He really doesn't play a big role in the storyline. He doesn't really feel like there's emotional connections with him and some of the other characters. But I feel like with Wednesday, and I feel like with Tech Boy, he's at his best. And I felt Tech
yeah,
Boy was at his best too with Shadow Moon as well. They had this really good cop bad cop kind of vibe to them, like where
yeah.
Tech Boy was kind of all crazy and all over the place, and Shadow Moon's like this calm guy, like, hey, hold on here. Like, I like that dynamic between the two characters. But I mean, we'll just have to see. Hopefully they will pick season 4 up. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that
Somebody's gonna.
I think they will too.
I just don't know who.
The only thing that drives me crazy or keeps me up at night when it comes to this show is the ratings. Because are some of these streaming channels, are they going to look at this and go, ooh, the ratings weren't too good for season 3. Should we do a season 4 for this? I think I'm like you. I think
Or they
somebody
could
will
see
take
it
it.
as, or they could see it as a gold mine. They could be like, we could take this over and really make it something.
We
And
can
these
make it
people gave
better.
up on it too soon,
Yeah, yeah, we can make
or
it better than what it
So
is. You know what?
I think it would be all right.
I feel like if Netflix took it, it could be a disaster. But I feel like if Amazon took it, I
I,
feel like it could be a gold mine.
I would agree with that. Or even if like something like HBO Max could get it, they
Oh,
could do something with it. But now we know that won't happen because HBO stars, blah blah blah.
yeah. HBO. Look, I don't think HBO would do it simply because HBO is so caught up now in DC.
Yeah,
you know,
that is true.
I mean, they want
And
all their
also with
programming to
the
be
whole,
focused more on
they already got some Game of Thrones projects going on with
yeah, they
HBO
got
too.
Game of
So
Thrones too. So I mean, they've already got some really big name
I don't
projects.
think they would, but I think Prime will because I mean that's where I watch it now. But so I think they'll probably take it over off of Stars, but they'll still own it.
Do you worry that? And you and I are huge The Boys fans, but I know you were kind of negative on season two. Would you
Very.
worry about something like that happening with American Gods though? Like, do you think that they would take these characters and maybe, I don't know, go too crazy with them, or do you think that they could really take what is there with some of these characters and make it into something great and interesting?
I think that it could easily go either way.
I actually kind of agree with that. I think it
Uh,
I think it could go either way. Um, feel like stars didn't know how to use. Take a tech boy for instance. Um, I felt like at times the show didn't know what to do with him. Like they could have made him into a larger character. They chose not to. They chose to put something like Bill Quest, Mr. Nancy, all of these other characters. Even we did a thing over Mad Sweeney. They put all these characters, gave them larger roles, and they kind of put Tech Boy kind of where he would show up maybe once every 2 episodes or so. I mean, I think
yeah,
a larger role would really help this character.
I could see that. I could agree with that.
I mean, and I'm not saying that I don't. Of course, I love Mad Sweeney. You and I both are big Mad Sweeney fans.
Matt
Mr.
Sweeney was
Nancy was
by
okay
far
to
my
me.
favorite character of the whole series.
Yeah, yeah, mine too. And Mr. Nancy and all those others, they're good characters. But I'm just saying, if you're gonna have a character, make them into something that is layered. And I felt like in season three, that was what made Tech Boy great. Was they started showing his character had layers to it. That he wasn't just
Yeah,
the prick. He wasn't just the in your
yeah, yeah,
face
yeah,
spoiled child. There was more to him
yeah,
than that. He was a dominant figure. He was a figure that did have feelings and fears and everything. And that to me made him more interesting of a character as a whole. I mean that's not true.
Absolutely, I agree.
But anyways, that's all I got on it. You got anything else to add on it?
That's it for me.
You know what? I'm hoping that they do. If season four is picked up, I hope they do more on Tech Boy. I think he's a
Yeah,
great
me too.
character.
That's what I'm saying.
I think he needs a little bit more airtime for his character really to truly be formed into what it should be. But we'll just have to see. Let's see if season four can get picked up by somebody, and we'll just
Yeah,
let's just see. Let's see if they
and
go
we can
the
discuss
direction
it
that
further.
stars went. Do what?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, we gotta wait and see before we can really do much more on that.
yeah. But all right, guys, let us know what y'all think down below. And as always, thanks for watching.